From Buffalo Wild Wings on West Avenue in Sioux Falls, welcome to Benchwarmers. Today's featured guests are former Nebraska standout and Philadelphia Eagles linebacker Nathan Gerry, University of South Dakota football analyst and Sioux Falls Storm assistant coach Andre Fields, Dakota State head football coach Josh Anderson, and our host, Midco Sports Network's Tom Neiman.
Hello, welcome to Benchwarmers here at Buffalo Wild Wings in Sioux Falls by the Birdcage. And what a panel we've put together here. This is amazing. The bronze and the beauty and the brains we put together here. We're going to talk a little about a lot about football, all about football. Talk about the Storm here with Andre Fields as they head into the playoffs. Dakota State football getting ready for its season opener in 2.5 months or so with Josh Anderson. And Nathan Gerry, former Sioux Falls, Washington football player, former Nebraska Cornhusker, and now with the Philadelphia Eagles. And back in town now on a break for a little bit. Where you at in the orientation, so to speak, with Philadelphia? You've been out there doing what in the last month or so?
We've had a lot of practice, but being a rookie, we kind of get the short end of the stick. So we have a lot of long days. Usually our days start out with, 5 a.m. wake-up call. We got to lift, and you got practice and meetings. Just every day. We have a bunch of meetings, and our rookies have to do orientation, things like that. So, like I said, we get the short end of the stick, so we have long days. So it's a mental grind, but I'm glad to be home right now.
You go back to training camp starting in late July, I believe, right?
Yeah. So I got to go back. I think it's around the 23rd of July. Report for a veteran training camp. We just got done with a couple mini camps. But once we go back, that's really when the grind starts. So. All right,
you've had pads on. You haven't had physical contact yet. You guys haven't had full practices yet, right?
No, yeah. So far, all we've had was just helmets and jerseys. There's in the NFL, there's all kinds of rules. There's a bunch of phases, and each phase you're allowed to do certain things, some more than others. Around the first couple phases, you can't even meet with your coaches. It's just kind of lifting stuff with your strength coaches, but otherwise, then phase 2 and 3 come around, and you have about 30 minutes of meeting time with the coaches, and then 30 minutes of special teams work on the field. You can't really do much individual work, or even necessarily work with your your position coach. So the NFL has got everything narrowed down to what they can.
So has it been overwhelming? You come from a big time program in Nebraska, but is this the next step in big time? Is it overwhelming or not?
Oh yeah, it's extremely overwhelming. Especially once the old heads started to come in. I kind of seen Darren Sproles and LeGarrette Blount and guys like that, and kind of really hits me. I'm just like, I used to watch those guys growing up quite a bit. So just to understand that I'm there right now, but there's a lot of things ahead that I still got to work for. But as of now, I'm very fortunate to be in the position I am.
All right. One of the first things I think you said after the draft is, man, I'm a Philadelphia Eagle. This is unbelievable. 5th round of the draft, 184th pick overall. At the time, you weren't really excited about where you went, but does it matter now? Are you good with that now?
Yeah, I'm totally fine with the whole situation. I think I've been telling my parents this quite often, is that I think that we all landed in a very welcoming spot, very good position for the style of play that I have. But with the whole draft process, it was one of those long, egging things that I just kind of wanted to be over. Yeah. A lot of the guys, you see it on social media now. Tom Brady, all those guys tweeting out on your 3rd day picks, whatever. Don't worry. And one thing I really noticed is that once it's all about getting there. And once you get there, it doesn't matter where you come from, who you are, things like that. So. At the end of the day, just being able to make it, we're all there and we're all the same person now, so we all got to keep fighting for a spot.
And you and Tom Brady have the same agent right now,
yeah.
Correct?
Nice. Yeah, so nice. Gotta thank my dad for that. He did all the business stuff. I just did the football.
Have you met him?
I haven't met him, no, yet. He's been busy with all Super Bowl, right. All that ceremony stuff. So, I'm still trying to make a name for myself right now.
Josh, you're out recruiting 5-6 years ago when Nate is at Sioux Falls, Washington, and yeah. What did you see him in? What kind of player was he in high school at Washington?
He had enough skills. I think he could have fit in at DSU and could have helped us out. He's tall, he's explosive, and honestly just a playmaker on the field. And I'm a little upset. I know it came down to Dakota State and Nebraska. And
it's a tough choice.
I don't know how Pelini edged me out, but still a little bitter about that. Kind of shocked you did pick Nebraska, but happy for you that things worked out.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Just a little too far for me, so I had to move down south.
There you go.
And you went through the transition there when Bo Pelini was the head coach, and then he left. Mike Riley comes in. That was a tough transition for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's one of the probably biggest obstacles that I've faced so far in my life. We had a lot of ups and downs when I was at Nebraska. One of my roommates actually passed away after my junior year, so throughout the whole transition, we had, like I said, we had a lot of ups and downs. We went 6-7 my junior year. We kind of fit the mold. We kind of figured out how the coaches coach. How they are outside of just the stadium, just understanding the type of people they are. And after our junior year, my senior class, we kind of figured it all out. We had a lot of leadership. We thought that we sent in the right way. We did for a while, and then we had a couple bumps in the road towards the end, which cost us. But the experience I had in Nebraska was, I wouldn't trade it for anything.
You were a Pelini guy, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you talked to him after you got drafted, I assume?
Yeah, he actually, Coach Bo called me that night. I had all my ex-coaches actually did call me that night. I thanked them for everything, because without them I wouldn't be here where I am right now. So I give a lot of credit to Coach Bo.
All right, talked about meeting some of these guys, Darren Sproles, LeGarrette Blount, who just signed with Philadelphia this offseason. Carson Wentz from North Dakota State is the quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. We're going to talk more about what's going on with the Eagles this year with Nathan Gerry, and we'll get to some Storm football, Dakota State football, when we come back on Benchwarmers.
Benchwarmers on Midco Sports Network is presented by Buffalo Wild Wings.
Welcome back to Benchwarmers here at Buffalo Wild Wings in Sioux Falls. And we're going to get to the Sioux Falls Storm, getting into the playoffs here. Some Dakota State football with Coach Anderson, but a little bit more with Nate Gerry with the Philadelphia Eagles. And you guys were just talking down at the end of the table there about this is your job now. Football is your job. And you're talking about the difference between playing football in college and now that it's your job. This is a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, every day I wake up, I'm still kind of overwhelmed about it, honestly. It's just like, well, I guess I got to go to work, and it's the things that I love most, so I can't complain about it ever, so I'm happy where I'm at.
Carson Wentz out of North Dakota State will be in his second year as the quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. Did you meet him? Did you get a sense of how big a deal he is right now in Philly?
Oh yeah, he's got his own day. Every Wednesday is Wentz Wednesday, so he's already pretty big time. So I was just thankful to be able to talk Dakota boy to Dakota boy, just be able to talk to him. But he's a great guy. After the 6 weeks that I've been in Philly, the leadership he provides for our offense. Everybody runs around him. So depending on who he is, how he plays, that's going to be the motor of our offense. But just the attitude that he brings to practice every day is just positive energy. So he's very enthusiastic about his work. So I think a lot of great leadership skills.
Did he give you one good nugget for getting through your rookie season?
Stay in the book. That's what a lot of people say, is just stay in that playbook. That's what people live and die by. Just one mistake can either bump you up or hurt you. So just told me to stay in it.
Apparently you need to bring that playbook with you on dates too. So
yeah, I'll see if I can sneak that in somewhere.
All right, you're listed as a safety right now on Philadelphia's roster, but they want you to play linebacker.
Yeah, I've been playing linebacker all OTAs, all minicamp. I've been playing 5 yards off the ball. That's about as close as I've played so far. Going through the whole draft process, a lot of teams mentioned that it's a possibility. I didn't even know I was playing linebacker by the Eagles until probably about 7 minutes after they drafted me. I talked to all the coaches and whatnot, and they called me back about 5-7 minutes later and they said, "Oh, by the way, you're playing linebacker." And I said, "All right."
Whatever.
Just like that.
And it's not totally foreign to you. It's something you played a little bit in Nebraska. You played close to the line of scrimmage at times.
Right.
A quote from Eagles head coach Doug Peterson about Nate playing linebacker. He's a smart kid. It's a little different role, but it's nothing new to him. He's used to playing in the box at times. He's done a good job. Hard worker, instinctive. And he says it's going to be interesting once you get to July and August and get into camp and put the pads on and get physical and start hitting people. It's going to be a different game, but they are confident that you can play this position, right?
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why they drafted me there is that which makes me feel a lot better about myself. Is that going in, I'm always trying to do the best I possibly can, but at the end of the day, I got to realize if I make a mistake that they brought me here for a reason. So. That's kind of one of the things that's been sticking in the back of my head, but I'm always a guy that's very competitive, so I'm always trying to do the best I possibly can, do anything to help the team. But so far with the transition, I think I'm doing pretty well. It helps to have a lot of veteran guys in the same spot as me that can help push me along and help progress me, so I'm very thankful for them.
Malcolm Jenkins, I think, will be in his 9th year, great linebacker for the Eagles. Have you dealt with him at all? Is there somebody that helps you along the way here, or is it just you got to make it on your own?
A lot of it, funny that you say that is because, one of the first weeks, after the first week I was there, I kind of want to look at some of the players and be like, hey, man, what are you doing tonight? And you got to realize that, a lot of these guys got families and kids that, they're going home to. And me being a 22-year-old guy, it's like, well, all right, so I guess I'll go try to do something on my own. But,
stay in the book.
Yeah, so that's kind of, like you said, that's just something that's kind of eye-opening for me is that, a lot of it is you're on your own quite a bit. It is a huge team thing, but it's also very business-related. And, once you walk in the facility doors, you got to put up or you're out. So, that's all that really matters is if you produce on the field, but off the field don't matter.
You get there, you sign a 4-year contract initially, you get a little signing bonus, but you still got to make this team, right? Is that how that works?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, usually anybody, I guess the first rounder might be the only one who's kind of locked and sealed, but I mean, you still got to go fight for the spot.
How many linebackers do you know? Like how many guys you compete with, as opposed to maybe how many safeties there were coming in?
I know in my room we have 8 guys. One's hurt right now. But the best part about playing defense is that majority of your special teams makes up from a defensive roster. So that's why it's so hard to make the team as receivers because not a lot of guys can run and catch a ball, but then run down and punt and make a tackle. So that's one thing that kind of benefits the defense is that we got the special team edge.
All right, it's gonna be fun. Philly at Green Bay for a preseason game this year. At Kansas City for a regular season game in September. They host Chicago in November. You got a call on that one?
No.
You're not confident in the Bears either?
No, I'm not at all. All
right, that's our poll question coming up later. Who's going to have a better regular season? Philadelphia, Vikings, the Packers, or the Denver Broncos? We just threw that in there. So that's the poll question coming up later. Right now, we're going to take a break. We'll come back, talk about some Storm football. Can they win their 7th indoor championship in a row? And Dakota State, is there a 7-win season in their future? We'll talk about that coming back.
Benchwarmers on Midco Sports Network is presented by Buffalo Wild Wings.
Welcome back to Benchwarmers, Buffalo Wild Wings here in Sioux Falls. Let's talk about indoor football. Sioux Falls Storm. Andre Fields won 4 championships in the IFL with the Sioux Falls Storm. Coaching now, and you guys just got back from Iowa over the weekend, beat the Iowa Barnstormers to get into the playoffs. You guys basically had to win this game to get in, right?
We did. Ironically, this year it kind of fell out 3 teams, only taking 2 spots. So we had basically like a 3-way tie, although the 3rd place team had a bunch of tiebreakers in there, but it came down to us in Iowa. Winner gets in unless the 3rd place team loses, which of course did end up happening. So we found out at the end of the game that we'll just replay the game in Sioux Falls rather than in Iowa.
All right, coming up this Saturday, 5 o'clock at the Premier Center. It is Iowa at Sioux Falls on one side of the bracket, Nebraska Danger and the Arizona Rattlers from the old AFL.
Right.
On the other side, Wichita Falls did not get in. The only team that beat the Storm this year was Wichita Falls, beat them twice, but they didn't even make the playoffs. Would you have rather had a shot at them again
Yes,
or not?
absolutely. Yeah. We were banking to have them back at our place to get, kind of get that monkey off our back since they beat us, but unfortunately they couldn't hold up their end of the bargain, so oh well.
6 championships in a row for the Storm. 7 is looking pretty good, I think, isn't it?
I think so. I mean, we beat both Arizona and Nebraska this year. Beat Nebraska twice, although we struggled to get it done, but we got it done. That's the main thing. And I think we have a great chance to beat one of those two teams if we get past Iowa this week.
All right, Iowa at the Storm on Saturday, Nebraska Danger at the Arizona Rattlers in the other game, and then those two will play. If Sioux Falls wins this Saturday, you will host the United Bowl.
Right, yep.
I'm not sure what the date would be, but that's
July 8th at 5 p.m.
All right, that would be next in line for 7 in a row. And speaking of 7, can Dakota State ever win 7 games in football? 6 wins the last 3 years. Is 7 going to happen this year, Coach?
Well, we're certainly going to do everything we can to make that happen. 3 years ago, when we got our first winning season in about 20 years, we felt pretty ecstatic. And then the 6 wins after that felt pretty good. And then 6 wins last year, our guys were upset. So it's nice. The attitude's changed.
Right.
They believe in themselves. They believe they can do more. So at least we're on the right path. We have a really tough schedule, starting off with Dakota Wesleyan on a Thursday night, August 24th. And so pretty excited about that. Apparently we're going to be live on Midco, and so
nice.
It'll be great for recruiting purposes. It'll be great for our fans, our athletes, and just a lot of fun anyway. It's a great game. We were able to beat them last year. I know they're upset about that. I know the feeling. We were kind of upset when they beat us a few times in a row. So, but they're a really good ball club, and it's going to be a great game.
Great game. Last year, you guys won 34-30 against Dakota Wesleyan.
Yeah.
This is an early start, isn't it? August 24th?
It is, and the reason we did that was because we wanted to try to get ahead of the high school games. I think they got bumped up a week ahead, so it didn't work out that way. But on a Thursday night, we thought, man, we could just be the only show locally on the field at that time, and so we thought, what a great way to just advertise our game, and it worked out too then to have Midco come in and live broadcast that, and so just be a lot of fun and hopefully a really good experience. We got a stadium that holds about 3,000, but we're anticipating anywhere from 5,000 to 6,000. So
nice.
Our athletic administration's got their work cut out for
All right.
them.
You got your best you got a quarterback back in Giles and your best receiver back from last year. Offense should be pretty good, huh?
Yeah, we're feeling very confident about our offense. Our defense, we've done a great job of recruiting to fill in the spots. But, even with Dakota Wesleyan and Madison at Dakota State, we feel like we have 2 of the top 3, if not the top 5 quarterbacks in the NAI playing in that first game. Nice. So 2 great young men, but really quality athletes too. And of course, Austin Opdahl's in the area. He was an All-American last year. To have him back, that's really a comforting feeling for everybody at Dakota State. But we've got some really good skilled athletes to go around him. So if defenses are just concerned about Austin, we feel good about everybody else being able to handle the rock as well.
All right, 7 wins. We wrote it down right there. And Dakota State opens up against Dakota Wesleyan August 24th on Midco Sports Network. All right, when we come back, our Winging It question from the lunchtime crowd here at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Benchwarmers on Midco Sports Network is presented by Buffalo Wild Wings.
Welcome back. Time for our Winging It question of the week. We go into the lunchtime crowd here at Buffalo Wild Wings, and for that, here's Kelly Stewart.
All right, thanks, Tom. I am joined by Brent Becker from Brandon. He's a Vikings fan, and he's got a question about the upcoming Super Bowl in Minneapolis.
Could the Vikings make the Super Bowl in their own stadium this year?
All right, thank you, Brent. Back to you, Tom. Let's see what the panel says.
All right, gentlemen, Brent wants to know, the Vikings, by the way, will host the next Super Bowl in February of 2018. He wants to know, can the Vikings make the game? Not win it, I don't think was the question, but can the Vikings even get to the Super Bowl in the coming season?
Absolutely not. They got to face the Bears twice, and it's just not going to happen.
Definitive. I like it. What do you think?
I would also agree. I don't think there's a chance that they're making it anywhere in the playoffs, to be honest with you. I think there's a lot of gunslingers out there. I mean, they do got a good defense, but I just hope that offense will be able to provide.
Yeah, I don't think so. Who's made it to the Super Bowl in their own stadium? I don't think anyone. So I don't think it's going to start this year either.
It would be awesome for all of our Viking friends, but I think they'll make the playoffs. They missed it last year. I think the Vikes will make the playoffs.
I don't know. It's just the quarterback situation, I don't know.
There's a lot of other good teams in that. Get by Green Bay. If you get to the playoffs, get by Dallas and whoever, the Giants, Green Bay, whoever's going to be in there. So, Brent, we don't think so, but good luck with that one. When we come back, that leads into our poll question. Which NFL team will have the best record in the regular season? Philadelphia, Minnesota, Green Bay, or Denver? That's when we come back.
Benchwarmers on Midco Sports Network is presented by Buffalo Wild Wings.
Welcome back to Benchwarmers. Our poll question this week: which NFL team will have the best record in the upcoming regular season? Philadelphia, Minnesota, Green Bay, or Denver? Out of about 80 votes on Twitter, and here at Buffalo Wild Wings, Minnesota Vikings with about half of those at 47%. The Eagles, 11%. What do you think? Out of those 4 teams, I don't know. Green Bay maybe stands out a little bit, but the Eagles last year, Nate, were 7-9, and there's got to be talk about let's get better than that.
Yeah, we talk about that. One of our quotes of the day every day, Coach Peterson talks about is if we're committed or if we're interested. So, last year we were a little interested in being good, but this year, our motto is to be committed to being really good. So. We picked up a lot of firepower on offense in the offseason. I think our defense is gonna be sneaky good. So I'm excited for. We got a lot of good teams in our conference though. So it should be a good battle.
Yeah, you do. Beat Dallas. Just do that.
Yeah.
Committed is better than interested. You probably steal that.
I like that.
like
committed
that
over
too.
interested.
Yeah,
we can borrow both borrow that stuff.
absolutely.
Yeah.
We didn't have the Bears in here. I'm sorry, but
That's okay. I'll
They're
take
not
Philly.
going to be in the playoffs either. so
I'll take
that's all
Philly
right.
too. I got to
There
go
you
with Wentz and Nate here. The local boys, they got my attention. The rest of those teams, who cares?
Well, I hope so with him sitting next to me and everything.
Yeah.
But out of the grouping there, it's hard to go against Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay.
Green Bay projected by ESPN to win 10 games again this year.
There you go.
Make the playoffs.
There you go.
They got Philadelphia projected for 8 wins, which probably in that division would
Just
not
one better.
get them in there. But going to be a great season. Quickly, about 10 seconds here. Josh, what's coming up in the next month for Dakota State football?
We got a lot of high school team football camps coming up on campus, and we got about 12 teams for the 9-man, 12 teams for the 11-man. Got a lot of good interest and a lot of good local high schools coming to visit us.
All right, looking forward to it. Next month or so, Nate?
A lot of golf and a lot of working out. So I'm just gonna keep it easy and simple.
All right, man. Storm playoff game this Saturday.
Playoff game this Saturday, and then hopefully rolling right into July 8th for United Bowl for the 7th time.
All right. Appreciate it, fellas. Josh Anderson, Nate Gerry, Andre Fields here on Benchwarmers. We are in Moorhead, Minnesota next week. Join us there for a taping on Monday at noon. Thanks for watching.